Welcome to In Focus, and I'm Zan Azli, your host. Today is the third episode out of a 3-episode special on Afghanistan. Now, not many people in Malaysia are actually aware of the fact that Malaysia has a military presence in Afghanistan. Now, when I found out that we had troops in Afghanistan, I wanted to find out what we were doing there and if it's actually worth our tax money that we pay, right? So I contacted the Ministry of Defence, and they were very welcoming, and I became the first Malaysian journalist to be embedded with the Malaysian Armed Forces in Afghanistan. How cool is that? Now, I was very happy to hear that our presence there is actually, our troops there are they are non-combat troops. We are actually there to provide humanitarian aid and assistance to the Afghan people, although we are part of NATO. Now, our troops are based in Bamiyan, which is a northern province in Afghanistan, and the majority of Malaysians there are actually, they're in the army, but they're doctors, nurses, dentists, people like that, who are there who actually can assist the locals, right? Now, when I was there, I observed how the Malaysians work. And actually, the Malaysian troops have an advantage over troops such as from America, New Zealand, the UK, or even other countries in Europe. The reason why we actually have an advantage is because, well, it's very obvious, Malaysians are actually Muslims, and so are the Afghans. So when our troops arrive in Afghanistan and they interact with the locals are very accepting of the Malaysians because they see the Malaysian troops praying in the mosque with them, giving the salam, assalamualaikum, waalaikum salam. So they feel very comfortable. And the Malaysian troops also have a number of women doctors and dentists and nurses. Now, Afghanistan, their culture is very conservative. So whenever doctors from foreign countries come, and if they are males, a lot of the females would feel uncomfortable to actually meet up with male doctors. So when the Malaysian troops arrive and they have female doctors, female dentists, female nurses, the Afghan women actually come out, right, to get treated, to meet with the doctors, and they're very welcoming. So take a look at the next package and we'll see how the Malaysians are actually helping out the Afghans in Bamiyan. I'm the first Malaysian journalist to be embedded with the Malaysian Armed Forces in Afghanistan. How cool is that? Now, the Malaysian Armed Forces have been in Afghanistan as part of NATO's International Security and Assistance Force, or ISAF, for a year now. And although their main mission in the country is to provide humanitarian and health services, going out on patrols with them still get me nervous like a leaf in a tree. But I had full faith in Melkon 2. Today, I was following Melkon 2. Now, they're the second Malaysian contingent there into the rural areas of Bamiyan. The journey is tough. Roads are hard to come by, as you can see. And we had to be aware of the security risk around us, like landmines and IEDs. But we do reach our destination safely, Yat Khao Lang, where one of the first things our troops do is to run a blood donation campaign to build up Afghanistan's almost non-existent blood bank. Now, you may think that a blood donation campaign is pretty straightforward, but not in Afghanistan.
Cabaran yang paling besar adalah untuk memberi kesedaran, awareness. Sebab blood donation campaign adalah sesuatu yang baru, terutama di daerah Yakolang ni. Saya difahamkan oleh hospital sendiri, ini merupakan kempen sebegini merupakan yang pertama kali di daerah Yakolang. So, jadi cabaran kami adalah untuk mendapat kerjasama dengan orang ramai. Itu adalah agak mencabar. So first is awareness lah masalah dia. Tapi alhamdulillah kami mendapat kerjasama yang baik daripada pengetua sekolah ni, iaitu Mullah Ali Muhammadi. Beliau merupakan ulama dan juga pengetua sekolah, jadi kami menggunakan influence Mullah di sini untuk menyebarkan tentang kempen ni, kepentingan kempen ni dan kebaikan menerima darah.
Umur sos fakat ikun kasa میتونم به خاطر که شاید یک احساس خوب باشه، به خاطر کاری برای هموطنای ما باشه که همین یک وقت شاید در وقت به درد هموطن ما به درد بخوره، احساس خوشحالی میکنه.
And under the safe and watchful eyes of our Special Forces security team, the rest of the troops also address another issue that is plaguing the rural areas of the country: contaminated water. From tests that they have done, a lot of the wells and streams where the local Afghans get their water from have extremely high levels of E. coli bacteria. Hence, a shockingly high infant mortality rate of 1 in every 5 children. So, Melcon 2 provides them a solution: water filtration.
Kita juga mengajar mereka untuk membina water filter ni daripada scratch, daripada awal. Tadi kita ajar dan tunjuk mereka step by step supaya mereka boleh maintain dan juga boleh bina water filter ni sendiri. Agak sukar untuk kita atau memperkenalkan teknologi ataupun ilmu-ilmu baru pada mereka kerana mereka susah untuk menerimanya. Jadi salah satu caranya adalah dengan membuat demonstrasi pada hari ini dan mengajar mereka step by step bagaimana untuk membuat water filter ini dan mengajar mereka terus on site.
کمک است، خیلی کمک است. از این کمک ما تشکر میکنیم انشالله، چون آبهای مناطق اکثرشون آلوده است و اگر فیلتر شود خیلی خوب میشه که مردم دچار مرض نمیشه.
Telah menemui kejayaan saintifik yang cemerlang. Probiotik BL Bifides membantu membina kekuatan dari dalam dengan manfaat saintifik terbukti. Nenggrow 3 mengandungi probiotik BL Bifides dan khasiat pelindungan unik untuk membantu perkembangan dan membina kekuatan dari dalam. Nenggrow 3 membantu si manja mencapai potensinya.
Saya hebat!
Did you miss us? Well, guess what? In Person is back, and boy, have we got a lineup for you, and we are bigger, better, and more inspirational. Entrepreneurs, entertainers, politicians, we've got it all. Technology was my only goal. How we think.
Numbers alone says a lot.
Tune in to be inspired. We're on every Monday at 8:30 p.m. only on Astro One.
It's great that you're still with us on In Focus, and we're still in Afghanistan. Now, I had actually followed the Malaysian troops into the rural areas of Bamiyan, and during one of these trips out, we actually went to this place called Yat Khao Lang, which is a very, very rural and isolated village in the heartlands of Bamiyan, northern Afghanistan. We were there to actually provide medical assistance to the villagers, and we helped them build wells and actually collect blood on a blood donation drive. Now, security is a big issue in Afghanistan. The Taliban, although they are not in power anymore, are still rampant around the country. And it is very important for us and the Malaysian troops to be on full alert whenever they go out of the base, especially into the rural areas and into the mountains of Afghanistan, where things are not exactly 100% secure. Now, when we were in Yat Khao Lang, a group of Afghan police were actually attacked by the Taliban, and they came for help. They came to the Malaysian troops for help because they had heard that we were there, and they came. And the injuries suffered by the police, the Afghan police, at the hands of the Taliban were actually quite serious. The Malaysian troops, our Malaysian troops, tried to do the best that they could to assist them. And you can actually see it in the next package that we will be playing for you. Just be warned that some of the injuries are actually quite graphic in the next package. So yeah, let's watch it now.
Lambat semua.
Sabar.
چرا زد بچه با امان میزد بچه همه زخمی شد اونجا پستی ما بود خبرگاه ما بود ما اونجا بودیم یک دفعه امان شروع شد
از اول شد امان
What is it?
Oh, saying that if PRT can help us with the helicopter because no way to take them to Kabul because the Taliban will come on the way and stop them. If PRT can help, if you can help us with this, with helicopter.
Some form of agreement with this ANP?
I don't know. Khuli is fighting in Daikundi. There was fighting, so that's why the helicopter cannot fly to Kabul.
Yeah, but now
They can fly here.
they can fly here. I mean,
Something?
This thing, there is no connector. The connector is missing.
Oh,
The oxygen is already on.
yeah.
They have sufficient oxygen to at least reach Bamiyan.
Ah.
I suggest them to start moving to Bamiyan, but wait for my commander's decision on whether we can get air Kasivet or not.
خب میگه آله اکسیژن تو کار کردن اما فرمودی میشه که تا بامیان برسن
ای
اما یک دقیقه
خلاص لاین.
لو خوش کده از خاطر با چی اکسیژن میندازن
Okey, sikit je. Suku.
ada
Too much. I need you to help me. I need to find one more connector.
what? Is it bullet or the splinters?
That's changes.
The leg, whatever the leg. The leg.
پایم چرا خورده؟
پای مانده بین پای چرا مانده
Splinters also.
No way. We cannot do anything here because we do not have the facilities in this base camp. The BP is already dropping. We need to get him fast. So we need to decide now. If we can't get air Kasivet, we need to transfer him as soon as possible, at least to Bamiyan, because Bamiyan has got the support, at least to stabilize him for 72 hours before we can send him to Bagram or what.
چیسته میگه حالا فشارش پایین شده رئیس پایین شده رئیس زیاد میگه ما یک دفعه تماس بگیریم که از طریق هوا اگر کدام همکاری برش دانستن که حداقل تا با
They have deployed the Kasivet heli to Daikundi.
Oh.
No, there's no more heli available for time being. They need to make it to Bamiyan at least, just Bamiyan, alright? I will call Bamiyan director to accept all these patients.
Yes.
Alright? I will call Mr. Sajo and make sure they accept this patient and resuscitate, yeah?
خب میگه ما با چی تماس گرفتیم و پیارتی یک تحریک داشتن رو روان کردن دایکندی میگه اگر امکان داشته باشه شما تا بامیان برسن من با رئیس شفاخانه بامیان که یک خارجی سبو تماس میگیرم که وای مریضا را چی کنن فعلا تحت تداوی بگیرن شما تا بامیان
I'm calling the Bamiyan doctor now.
تلفن
We calling the
میکنن
director.
با دایرکتور شفاخانه تلفن میکنن
You have to immediate send.
Hello, Mr. Sarjo. Yep, I have an urgent request. I need help. I'm in Scott's base now in Punjab. I'm in Punjab now. Alright, so I have 5 injured ANP personnel. Alright, they have been attacked by Taliban in Daikundi province, and we asked for air Kasivet, but the coalition forces can't provide air Kasivet for them. So the best way is to send them to Bamiyan. There's one critically hurt patient with severe head injury. For time being, the BP and the breathing rate and SpO2 is good. So I hope he can make it to Bamiyan, and I hope you can stabilize him at least for some time, yeah, before we can plan for further resuscitation. I'm sending them now. All the 4 other patients are suffering from fractures and minor injuries. Not to worry, but this one is really sick. I'm sending them now, yeah. They should be there in about 4 or 5 hours. Okay, bye-bye. You should move now. They should move now. Otherwise the patient will die.
شما باید برن دیگه. اون تلفن کردن که زخمی دارن.
They will accept and resuscitate the patient there. Keep the
اونا
patient.
باز چی همکاری هم ما میکنن؟
همکاری مریض همونجا نگاه میکنن، تحت تداوی میگیرن تا زمانی که گفتن ما باز ببینیم چی میشه.
Kecil faham tuan. Ni sebab tak nampak ni kena tengok betul tak. Ada jalan awak di atas apa? Jalan straight ke sini. Nama Kabul ke sana. Tu nampak tu Kabul. Ada jalan straight ke sini. Mungkin cik dia masuk pada sini. Untuk mai kat kita ni.
Atau masuk daripada sini.
Ataupun masuk pada sini.
Nampak jalan dia ni.
Dia masuk ke Wardak.
Wardak.
Okey. Understand? Hujan je, Bamian malam sampai.
Okey, selamat.
Assalamualaikum. Okey.
Okey. Kalau dia berani, dia tak payah datang sini tau. Ada sempang atas tu, dia betul pergi Wadak. Lalu Wadak Kabul, betul tak? Lagi kena tunggu ambil pelajar ke dia? Dah orang dah. Apa tak boleh patah balik ya? Dari sini. Okey, apa yang berlaku tadi, kita dapat anggota cedera. Anggota ni adalah anggota polis yang mana saya dimaklumkan mereka sedang bertempur atau mungkin mereka diserang oleh pihak Taliban di daerah Dakundi. Daerah Dakundi bersepadan dengan daerah Waras, itu di bahagian selatan. Jadi mereka telah pun datang meminta bantuan kepada kita.
Dan salah seorang daripada 5 tu adalah mengalami kecederaan kepala yang teruk, cedera parah. Dan apa yang berlaku adalah kerana kami sekarang ini berada di forward operating base yang kecil, kita tidak ada necessary resuscitating tool yang cukup untuk treat dia dalam masa yang lama. Jadi apa kita buat tadi adalah kita stabilizekan dia, kita runkan drip, kita startkan dia on oxygen and then bleeding dia pun memang dah stop. Pihak ANP telah berhentikan bleeding dia sendiri. So masa tu kita dapati yang tekanan darah dia kembali pulih pada normal dan kadar pernafasan dia selepas kita bagi oksigen pun stabil. So kita cuba untuk minta air Casivac melalui udara, tapi tidak dapat diberikan buat masa ini kerana pentempuran masih berlaku di kawasan Daikundi. Oleh itu kita telah minta bantuan Provincial Hospital Bamian. Saya telah telefon pengarah hospital itu sendiri dan mohon dia untuk terima pesakit ni. Kita refer ke Bamian Provincial Hospital kerana di Bamian sekurang-kurangnya ada blood bank yang mana dia boleh transfuse blood, dia boleh stabilizekan patient dulu untuk sekurang-kurangnya 24 jam ke 48 jam, dan dia akan transfer dengan ambulan awam yang mana lebih selamat daripada menggunakan ambulan tentera yang menjadi target pihak Taliban.
Okey, kurang daripada kejadian yang berlaku sebentar tadi, walaupun saya amat mencurigakan keadaan-keadaan laluan semasa tim Makonaiser untuk pulang ke Kiwi Base, walaupun saya beranggapan tahap keselamatan masih berada di tahap yang tinggi kerana kejadian yang berlaku amat jauh, lebih kurang 60 hingga 70 km daripada Scott Base, dan persediaan akan dibuat di mana mengikut SOP dan mengikut prosedur yang telah ditetapkan.
We're in Bau, Sarawak. The town may look very placid and quiet now, but over the past 180 years, many thousands of people have died fighting over its riches its gold mines, its antimony. All that's left now are these mining pools and the limestone outcrop.
Kami orang belum pakai air pipe lagi. Sekarang masih air gunung. Saya lebih selesa dengan kaum mak saya, Land Dayak.
So join me Monday evening 9:30 p.m. Astro Awani, Tritala, Malaysia.
Sekumpulan mahasiswi yang ingin mengikuti pertandingan menari. Pelbagai halangan terpaksa mereka tempuhi. Percintaan dan persahabatan. Gelak ketawa dan air mata. Saksikan kemunculan istimewa Cherry Bell. Segala yang terhebat untuk anda dari saluran pelangi.
Almost everybody knows that one of the main attractions of Afghanistan, if you're there as a tourist, even though it's a war-torn country and not many tourists actually go there, is that in Bamiyan, the northern province, they have those gigantic Buddha statues. Now, almost everybody also knows that during the Taliban rule, they actually blew up the two gigantic statues. And when I found out about the Buddhas in Bamiyan, I was still in school, I was in secondary school, and I wanted to go there so much to actually see the Buddhas for myself. And when I was finally in Bamiyan, I could not, let that opportunity go. So I visited the site of the Buddhas of Bamiyan. The statues are not there anymore, but the cavities are there, and they are huge and humongous. And there's a network of caves in there, and inside you can see all kinds of smaller Buddha statues which the Taliban have not destroyed. And it was it was exciting for me to visit the site. Now the site is now a UNESCO heritage site. And UNESCO, United Nations, are actually trying to rebuild the statues from the rubble that they have gathered at the site. But one thing that I found out was that the mountains where the Buddha statues are built on or in is actually shared by other local Afghans. These are Afghans who actually live in caves because they are considered the ultra poor. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have proper jobs, and because they're so poor, they're living in the caves by the statues of by the Buddhas of Bamiyan. And when I visited the site and I saw the villages, the village there, definitely I had to go and visit them, and I wanted to see how their lives were. So there was this one guy who was very welcoming, invited me into his home to see how he lives, and it was very interesting and also heartbreaking at the same time. So please watch this package and see what you think. I've been wanting to see the Buddhas of Bamiyan since I was 15 years old, and I'm finally here. Built by the ancient Afghans in 507 AD, destroyed by the awesome Taliban in 2001. But what I also found here was, sharing the cliffs with the destroyed Buddhas is a group of ultra-poor Hazara villagers who live in cave houses. Now this is Muhammad Musa, a local here who lives in a one-room cave with his family of 6.
بابیات ماینی میگی ترشده مرده و زنده شدی میگی ترشده یعنی می تو بابیات ماینی جامعه دادن یعنی میگی این مالی یعنی می گردایم سرم دیلم رفتم داشته بخونه توا گرفتم هیچ خوب نشدم هیچ یعنی سیاسر مریضه نیلقای مریضه یه دیگه بیخه و خودم اتاق خطیه باید که قدیما کمکاری کنه باید قدیما خانه بیته یک زندگی تیر کنیم یک اساس سعی تیر کنیم تو واقعی مدت تازی بعد وقت بشینیم همون ده که سومی دیگه هستیم یاد بیرون همون نکنیم که جای اتاق هست این جای اتاق هست یا تشنا با من جور کردیم نالا نیکنم دیگه ونوم بسیار قدیم اتاق یک قدر قدیم اتاق هست که بیخی گمش کردیم Ini yang amome. Ini yang amome.
Oh, kalau
Enoli ami daulat mo man ami birodara mo ba kalimo ya kam kori kuna ya khone se bita ye ki zindagi se ter kunem to wakai mo dete ma kori ko boshem ira kam so bat baktis en mo bozwa kor kunum dar pa bozwa kor kunum bisru pa en mo bisru par chira khone kholar bichalo chira khone ke khone bat mo तालाजी में खाली हम करी बुक ना मोर चांद पारी में जो मत लेसगिरी kada ketiga monat दिन mo yo kudam mor khona dada yo kudam diga dada tes kali mam kori na kada bat si yeni mo tawaka dai ma kori ko boshen mo khosh asin mor ya yo khona bita तालाजी mo bat mor ya khona bita ya zindagi ter kunem tawaka mutai tai ma kori ko boshen ne mo khosh asin mor ya khona bita khosh asin ki ya zindagi ter kunem بعد که ما را جای بیتا که مناسبی نزدیک شهر باشیم نزدیک منطقه باشیم یک کار کنیم یک اطفال خدا یک نان برندهش یک تنی کار کنیم.
But the irony is, the government is relocating them because the site has been declared a UNESCO heritage site. But the proposed location is way deep in the rural areas. So thank you very much everybody for watching our 3-episode special on Afghanistan here on In Focus. Now this doesn't mean that In Focus is over. We still have many more episodes in the coming weeks with many more stories to tell. Now don't forget, next week tune in to In Focus again. Same day, same time, different story. Local and international stories from a Malaysian perspective. Goodbye.